So you're looking at the Yamaha DTX6K3-X drum kit. You want to know if it's worth your money, if it's the right upgrade, or maybe if this is the kit that finally solves the problems you've had with electronic drums. The promise is simple. I'm going to give you the 3 critical things nobody else is telling you. But here's what surprised me. This isn't just another electronic drum review about specs you can read on a box. Therefore, the first thing you need to know flips the entire script on why you'd buy an electronic kit in the first place. For the best price, click the link in the description. /n/ and you clicked because you need clarity. You're swimming in model numbers. DTX6, DTX8, the K2, the K3, the X, it's a mess. Maybe you're coming from an older kit or a beginner set and you're terrified of spending all this money and getting it wrong. You need the real-world truth, not the marketing fluff. I get it, and that's exactly what we're doing. We're cutting through the noise right now, but before we dive into the 3 game changers, I need you to forget everything you think you know about mesh heads, because what Yamaha did here, it's a quiet revolution. /n/n, let's jump straight into thing number 1 you need to know, the texture. This is the biggest, most important factor that people completely overlook when they buy a kit online. Everyone talks about feel in this vague, hand-wavy way. They say it feels great. That's useless. I'm going to be specific. The DTX6K3-X uses Yamaha's textured cellular silicone heads, or TCS for short. Now, you've probably heard of mesh. It's the standard. It's bouncy, it's quiet, it's everywhere. Therefore, you'd expect Yamaha to just use mesh and call it a day, but they didn't. And the reason is contrarian and brilliant. They wanted it to feel like a real drumhead, not a trampoline. /n/n, here's the deep dive. Put your hand on a real snare drumhead. It's not perfectly smooth. It has texture. It has a slight give, but also a firmness. When you strike it, the stick doesn't just sink in and bounce back like a pure elastic surface. It contacts, it moves the head, and then it comes off. That's the sensation. The TCS heads on the DTX6K3-X replicate that texture and that initial resistance. Mesh heads, especially cheap ones, feel like hitting a tight net. They're all rebound. These silicone heads have a softer, more forgiving initial impact than a solid stop. It's the difference between dribbling a basketball and catching a baseball in a mitt. One is all bounce, the other is an impact with a sense of capture. That means your strokes feel more controlled. Your ghost notes are easier because the stick isn't fighting you with excessive bounce. It's a game changer for technique. But wait, there's a twist. This isn't just about feel. Therefore, this texture directly impacts the sound. How? Because the module can detect where and how you hit with more nuance, which is a perfect segue into the module itself, and that's our second big thing you need to know. But first, a joke. What do you call a drummer who breaks up with their girlfriend? Homeless. Because let's be honest, the kit always comes first. Thankfully, this one might be worth it. /n/n, okay. Thing number 2. The brain is smarter than you think. The module on this is the DTX Pro. It looks clean, maybe even a little simple compared to some rivals with a million blinking lights. That's the first trick. Yamaha is like the quiet kid in class who aces the test without breaking a sweat. Everyone else is shouting about their 5,000 sounds, their color screens, their Bluetooth this and that. But here's the scroll-stop interjection. The magic isn't in the quantity of sounds. It's in the quality of the triggering and the realism of the kits they've built. Therefore, you need to understand virtual resonance modeling, or VRM. This is Yamaha's secret sauce. /n/n on an acoustic kit, you hit the snare, the whole kit vibrates. The toms ring a little, the cymbals shimmer. It's a living, breathing instrument. Most electronic kits give you a dead, isolated sound. Hit the snare, you get a snare sample. End of story. It feels sterile. The DTX Pro module uses VRM to simulate that acoustic interaction. When you crash a cymbal, you'll hear a faint ring in the toms. Hit the kick drum, the snare wires might buzz just a bit. It creates a cohesive, room-filling sound that feels like you're playing a real instrument, not triggering samples in a vacuum. It's a subtle effect, but it's profound. It makes you want to play longer because it responds like a real kit. But that's not all. Therefore, let's talk about the sounds themselves. They are, in a word, pristine. We're talking meticulously recorded Yamaha acoustic kits, the kind professionals use in million-dollar studios. The default kits aren't just Rock Kit 1 and Jazz Kit 2. They are thoughtful, mix-ready sounds. The room mics are baked in just right. The snare wires are crisp. The kick drum has weight without being muddy. It sounds like a finished recording, not a collection of samples. This means you can plug in headphones and immediately feel like a rock star without needing to be a sound engineer. Which leads to a critical question. Is it easy to use, or is it a maze of menus? That's the third thing. But first, another joke. Why do drummers have the fastest cars? Because they're always rushing to the next downbeat. With this module, at least you'll sound good while rushing. /N//N, here's a mini promise before we reveal the final big thing. I will show you the one hidden feature that makes practicing actually fun. Stick around, because thing number 3 is all about connectivity and growth. This is where the X in DTX6K3-X becomes vital. The X stands for the expanded package. You get the 3-zone crash with a choke, the bigger kick tower, the better hi-hat stand. But the real growth potential is in the module's inputs and outputs. You have dedicated inputs for everything plus 2 extra. Want to add another crash or a splash cymbal? Easy, no need to unplug your ride. But the killer feature? The USB audio interface. This is the game changer for the modern drummer. /N//N, therefore, let's deep dive. You can plug this kit directly into your computer via a single USB cable. It doesn't just send MIDI data to trigger software like Superior Drummer. It acts as a full, professional-grade audio interface. That means the sounds from the module itself can be recorded directly into your DAW as clean, separate audio tracks for each drum and cymbal. Snare on track 1, kick on track 2, overheads on 3 and 4. It's recording studio-level functionality built right in. You can be laying down a drum track for a song in minutes, not hours of messing with cables and interfaces. It removes the barrier between having an idea and recording it. But there's more. Therefore, let's talk about the coach functions and Bluetooth. The Bluetooth isn't just for playing music from your phone to jam along, which is awesome. It's for connecting the DTX Pro app on your smartphone or tablet. This app is a revelation. It gives you a beautiful, intuitive touchscreen interface to control every aspect of the module. Changing kits, tweaking sounds, setting up mixes, it's all drag and drop on a big screen. It makes the module's physical simplicity a strength because all the deep editing is in the palm of your hand. It's genius. And for practice, the built-in songs and coach functions are actually useful. The groove check feature listens to your timing and gives you a score. It turns practice into a game, which makes me wonder, is this the perfect kit? Therefore, we have to talk about the snapback, the potential drawbacks. No kit is perfect. /N//N, the biggest contrarian point you need to hear. This kit prioritizes acoustic feel and sound realism above all else. That means if you are a metal player who wants the fastest, most effortless bounce for blistering double bass patterns, the TCS heads might feel a tad too grippy compared to super tight mesh. They have resistance. It's a matter of preference. Also, the rack is solid, but it's not the massive, tank-like construction of kits twice the price. It's stable, but it's designed for home use, not stadium touring. And while the module sounds amazing, sound designers who want to create utterly synthetic, non-acoustic sounds might find the library a bit too focused on realism. It's a specialist in sounding like real drums. But is that a bad thing? Therefore, let's resolve this. Who is this kit actually for? /N//N, if you are a drummer who values feel and wants an electronic kit that bridges the gap to your acoustic kit, this is arguably the best in its price range. If you want plug-and-play studio-quality sounds without endless tweaking, this is for you. If you see yourself recording music at home, the USB audio interface alone is worth a huge portion of the price. It's for the serious intermediate player ready to upgrade, the home studio enthusiast, and even the advanced player who wants a silent practice kit that doesn't feel like a toy. It's not for the absolute beginner on a super tight budget, and it might not be for the triggered blast beat specialist who lives in a DAW with sample replacement. For everyone else, it's a home run. Before our final resolution, a joke. How do you know when a drummer is at your door? The knocking speeds up. And with this kit, at least the speeding up will be in perfect time, thanks to that groove check. /n//n. So, let's resolve this with the three things crystal clear. 1. The texture of the TCS heads provides a realistic, controlled feel that prioritizes acoustic drum response over hyperbounce. It will improve your technique. 2. The DTX Pro module's brilliance is in its virtual resonance modeling and pristine, mix-ready sounds that create a cohesive, living instrument, not a collection of samples. 3. The X factor is the professional connectivity, specifically the USB audio interface and brilliant app control, which future-proofs the kit for recording and makes it incredibly easy to use. Therefore, the Yamaha DTX6K3-X isn't just another electronic drum set. It's a thoughtfully designed instrument that respects the drummer. It makes you want to play. It removes barriers between you and your creativity. But the real question is, should you buy it? Therefore, if you're looking for the most realistic feeling and best-sounding kit under that professional tier, the answer is a resounding yes. It delivers a level of sophistication and musicality that is rare. One last joke. What's the difference between a drummer and a savings bond? Eventually, the savings bond will mature and make money. But with this kit, at least your investment pays off in pure playing joy. If you're ready, you can find the best current price on Amazon for the Yamaha DTX6K3-X by clicking the link in the description below. That link supports the channel at no extra cost to you. Thanks for watching, and go make some noise.